As we continue now to talk about Tennyson, we notice that he did write a poem called The Holy Grail. Now, the Holy Grail has been quite an attraction, quite a mystery, quite a uh, great attraction, quite a great thing that many have tried to understand, try to figure out, try to know its meaning or how it relates to anything whatsoever. And many people have done that for a long time. And that is not surprising because it does have so many connotations indeed. And of course, it goes back ultimately to Jesus' Last Supper, in which he put the wine and he told the people that it was his blood. So the Holy Grail holding that, of course, would be very sacred and very special. But there have been other ideas about it as well. Now, Tennyson, of course, and others have written a poem about that. But what is particularly interesting, again, we talked about Richard Strauss' relation to Wagner because of the leitmotif in one of Tennyson's poem, Enoch Arden. But we also know that Wagner's very last opera, in many people's opinion, the culmination of all of his works, was an opera called Parsifal. And Parsifal is an opera not about Parsifal, but it's really an opera about the Holy Grail. But the entire drama begins and ends with something about the Holy Grail. And we never know about it completely until we get to the end of that opera entirely. Now, in Tennyson's poem, The Holy Grail, he also goes through all of the characters that Wagner uses in his uh, opera. And in fact, as he mentions the Holy Grail in verse 35 when he says, "Within us, better offered up to heaven, to whom the monk, the Holy Grail, I trust, we are green in heaven's eyes, but here too much we moulder as two things within, I mean, yet one of your own knights, a guest of ours, told us of this in our refractory." So you see, one of the knights told these people about it. Well, that's how that begins, because knights were informed about the Holy Grail, of course. And guess what else it says in here? Was like that music as it came, and then streamed through the cell a cold and silver beam. Then down the long beam strode the Holy Grail, and so on. So you see, in here are many references to the Holy Grail, and even here, I lose myself, I save myself. So if one goes through here, especially looking at the notes, one will find not only references to just what Wagner did with the Holy Grail, but also references to Scripture. And according to many who wrote about Wagner's opera, The Holy Grail, they said he had began to study Scripture on purpose to write the Holy Grail. Now we see another great parallel between Wagner and Tennyson, and this time in one of the most great things ever thought of, or that anyone ever tried to write about, or figure out, or set music to, or do drawings about, and that is one of the greatest things the world has ever thought about or ever known, coming from the great source of all, which is the Holy Grail.